Well, I was gonna do a countdown. Jesus Christ, this microphone is too loud. Why are my microphones so loud? I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, no, I was gonna do a little 30-second countdown while I was finishing up my song before, and I didn't. Sorry, we're not doing a countdown. We're just jumping right into the show. We've got about a quarter of Monday Night Football played as we were sitting here recording, and then as in we, I mean me. But you know, we got it all right here on the iPad on the setup. You know what I mean? I've got my water. I've got my, you know, my nicotine. I would shout them out, but they don't pay me for that. But if they, you know, if you're open to paying Village Vets, AC Lee, Washington Winning, you know, any of the, you want to come over here and just and you know, rock out with your boy, rock out with the gang. We're open to it. But hey, man, it's AC Lee here from the Village Vets, also from Culturally Inappropriate with AC Lee and Washington Winning. Make sure you go subscribe on Instagram, you subscribe on YouTube, you subscribe on TikTok, Village Vets Pod, Village Vets Podcast. You just type in Village Vets anywhere and you'll find us. Again, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. Come join our village, man, and maybe you too can become a vet. All right, man. So I'm going through the topics today because we got full topics, man. We had a great show last week. Hey, I want to apologize to everybody who was watching the show last week. We had some technical difficulties. Those of you who know where I live, man, I live in the sticks. It's country out here. And the internet options weren't the best when I moved up here. So, you know, we got AT&T Air right now, and that should be up in the air. It's really up in the air how the internet's going to perform. So I understand that from a streaming perspective, it doesn't always look the best. It doesn't always sound the best. I'm totally aware it's a problem that we're working through. And recently, AT&T Fiber has become available in my area. So we're looking to upgrade that fairly soon to provide you all a better streaming show. You know what I mean? For you all that watch it. But again, if you missed the stream, go to Apple Podcast. Village Vets is there. For those of you who have been around already, who follow Big Baby's podcast, AC Lee and Parlay Pete, now Culturally Inappropriate with AC Lee, you can go check it out there as well, because I post all my stuff, you know, where it needs to be. Anyways, so let's get to the first topic, man. So this first topic I wanted to, I thought we were going to hit together as a group. Would have been a better conversation with us all, but it's just me talking. And it was the Cartersville Calhoun game, right? You know, some town business. We gotta bring it to the town, gotta let the town know that hey, we're locked into what's going on. So I went to the game, it got delayed so many times, it didn't start till like almost 10 o'clock. And I knew, unless this is a tight game, I'm not gonna be here all night. I'll be darned if I'm spending I got there about 7:15. I'm not staying at a high school till 1 o'clock in the morning. That sounded crazy. But again, like at my ripe old age, or young age, or however you want to call it, of 33, I don't want to spend that much time there on a Friday night, even if I'm not doing anything on a Friday night, because if I decide I want to partake in some beverages, well, I drove to the game and I've got to go home in order to partake in my beverages and talk on the phone and do the things that I enjoy doing. Although I did enjoy watching some good high school football. It was a tight game early on. Then in the second half, Cartersville really started going crazy. It's 35-14 when I left, almost at the end of the third quarter, towards the end of the third quarter. And then Calhoun came back, the 35-35 game, and then Cartersville drove down to hit a game-winning field goal. I saw a lot of fodder about it on Facebook the next day, not even knowing that the score was what it was, because I didn't come home and watch the game. Actually, after the game, I'll tell y'all a funny story. For those of you who are aware of the Village Vets, You know me and Todd, you know how we get down, you know how we like to hang. Bro, we went to the local after the game, right? And the local, I mean, it's the local watering hole here. And let me tell you, we sat at the bar. He drank a water. I drank a Sprite. We just looked at each other and was like, bro, let's go. Time to go home. You going to your house. I'm gonna go to my house because we out here being responsible, but we're not having fun. Why are we here? And not saying that being responsible isn't fun, because being responsible is fun, but obviously we're at a bar and we were both having to drive, so that we took proper precautions. What else do we got here, man? We've got the what's it called? We got a festival going on in Cartersville this week. Um, this weekend, excuse me. On Saturday. Let me see. What's the name of that? Groove Fest. Yeah, they're doing Groove. Shout out to Black Barto. They got Groove Fest going on downtown this weekend. Hopefully, man, I've got so much going on that day. I've got to go up. I got a birthday party I'm supposed to go to. I've got a housewarming and / engagement party. Shout out to Big Austin that I'm going to. And hopefully throughout all of that, I got some time to make it downtown to show love, but also, you know, vets get out there, talk to the community, touch the people that we're talking to. And you know, maybe we find some guests to come up here, or we find some topics that we're missing out on, because you know we want to make this show for you all in the Ville. The show is your show because there is no other show from our culture who's talking about the things we care about, talking about the things that we go through. And that's really why we built the show. You know, that I mean, that's not the only reason. I'll be honest with y'all. That would be disingenuous to say that we only built the show for you all as fans. But you know, Todd, VJ, and I had an idea of doing a podcast years ago, but the technology wasn't in place for us to actually do it in different areas. At that time, Todd was in Nashville, VJ was here in the Ville, and I was in San Diego. So when I finally moved back, and you know, after Todd moved back, we go, okay, let's put this together. And that's what we end up doing. And then after you start seeing the reception, the love, the feedback, the different guests, the comments, everything that y'all think I don't like and I complain about when I'm just sitting up here talking during the show. No, we greatly appreciate it. And this is for you all. You know, I know y'all don't listen to WBHF. I don't even know if WBHF like has their shows on podcasts. I have no idea what's going on over there, not tapped in over there. But I know that black people, young black people in our age demographic aren't listening to that. And that's not even the type of media that they want. And we want to give you all the type of media that you want. We want to be able to talk to you about the things that you care about. Yeah, it's cool that the big podcast that everyone listens to talks about national issues, international stuff, what's going on regionally for them. But we wanted to do something to talk about Cartersville and hear perspectives from people from Cartersville about life, whether it's a local issue or it's a national issue, local topic or national topic. And I think last week's show was one of our first steps really into that, because we reached out to some people who were involved in some internet fodder back and forth. Shout out to DNCB, CBD, coming up here and kicking it with us, kicking it with the vets. They came out and they talked about the stuff that was going on. And, you know, we want to be a place to where people can come and get their stuff off. You know, if you, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, if you got some Facebook drama, you got some Facebook beef, you going on Facebook rants, and it's getting a lot of engagement in the Ville, more times than not, if we know you, we rock with you, we're gonna reach out to you because we want to get you up here so you can articulate yourself. We can ask some questions, and maybe we can get to some answers and some solutions. And that's one thing I loved about the show that we did last week. Despite the drama, the beef that our guest had with someone else, at the end of the conversation, they're willing to drop it. You know what I mean? They want to move on in a positive direction to where there's no static. And I'm not saying that they quote unquote have beef with each other, but obviously there was a problem that we saw. And we looked at it. We were entertained by it. We had our feelings about it. But more importantly, I think we're moving towards a resolution. And I'm not on some higher than now God type stuff. No, I'm not on that. Not at all. But at the same time, if we can use this platform as a means to bring people together and resolve issues, we're definitely going to do that. And on that, I need you all to understand too, because you may not have personal relationships with media personalities. Yes, we are the people you know. I'm AC. V is V. Dean is Dean. Rue is Rue. Shaw is Shaw, right? We are our own individuals. But also understand that as media personalities, especially when we're dealing with drama and stuff like that, we're only trying to provide a good conversation and move toward a solution in those conversations. So when we do those, don't ever feel offended by anything that somebody says up here. And unless it comes out of anybody who works on this show's mouth, right? Pause if that needs to be put there. New Kung Fu Kenny. I'll just play it just for the heck of it, because we're probably not going to get a lot of Kung Fu Kenny drops today, because it's just me by myself, and making those borderline jokes aren't as fun when you don't have somebody sitting next to you to try to make feel uncomfortable or who just said some outlandish stuff. But anyways, so yeah, don't take anything too personal that is said up here, and don't take anybody else's words as our words or our representation, right? Because again, man, we just up here talking shit, having fun, and trying to bring the community together, right? Cartersville's the Ville. We call it the Village Vets, because we've been around for a little while. But at the end of the day, we care about the village and keeping the village together. And yes, I do have on shorts. They're extremely short. Let me pull them down just a tad. Okay, now that I've got out of town business, I want to talk a little bit about the Falcons. The same old Falcons. I'm not going to stay here too long, because if you want to get my true Falcons takes, my NFL takes, then tune in on Wednesday for Washington winning, where Parlay Pete and I, who were both at the game, break everything down. We discuss the game. We discuss everything. We discuss how we feel. We discuss what we saw, this, that, and the third, right? But what I will talk about with you all today is something's got to change. I'm not talking about quarterback. I'm not talking about defense. I'm not talking about pass rush. I'm not talking about line. I'm not talking about weapons. I'm not talking about DBs cover. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. Hell, I'm not even talking about OC, DC, head coach, GM. I'm talking about the brain trust. Now, if you look at the Vic years, you look at the Matt Ryan years, you look at the Desmond Ritter stint, the Marcus Mariota stint, the Taylor Heineke stint, now the Michael Penix project, as we'll call it today, because it's his first year as our starting quarterback. Kind of like Baltimore, man. We don't know how to close out games. Whether we give up a lead, which we did yesterday, or we miss a field goal that we should make. There's got to be some changes in Atlanta, and you can't fire the owner. But my God, can we pressure him to sell the team? And I don't in a vacuum, I don't think Arthur Blank is truly the problem as an owner, but I think his allegiance to Rich McKay is a problem. And we have to get the stench of Rich McKay as far away from the Atlanta Falcons as possible. And I don't think that happens under Arthur Blank's leadership. I don't know why that relationship is what it is. I don't know why he thinks that he has to have Rich McKay around. But the Falcons have a culture issue, and it's deeper than just the employees. is deeper than the employees who work for the Falcons. I think it goes to ownership. You know. But shout out to T Cuz, man. Like, let me apologize to you. Um, Let me apologize to you, dog, because I sent out the Facebook post talking noise. AT Cuz, where you at? I'm looking for you because I know you the big Bucks fan in the Ville. And then you hit me on the DMs. I don't be checking my Facebook DMs like that. So for anybody in general, if you're trying to reach out to me, yeah, bro, I don't be checking them Facebook DMs like that. I got to be better about that, especially when I'm popping shit on Facebook, because I definitely would love to pull up on you at halftime at some point during the game just to dap up, talk a little noise, and keep it moving. Hey, but shout out to the Bucks, man. The Bucks, you know, they won the game. Although we did miss that field goal at the end that Younghoe Koo should have made. Well, he really shouldn't have made it because he shouldn't have been on the team. And I'll tell you from the fan perspective, I felt that we shouldn't have brought him back after what he did last year. But even when he came out to kick, the Koo chants weren't that loud. Usually you can hear the whole Koo. It was like Koo. You could just hear the other stuff over the Koo chants, and that speaks to how the fan base feels about him. And I don't think that what the fan base thinks is the most important thing, but I definitely think it matters. And yeah, Koo got to go. Some other week one reactions. I enjoyed that Ravens Bills game. Probably one of the best games we'll see all year. Unfortunately, there's something going on in Baltimore similar to what's going on in Atlanta, and it's not knowing how to close out games, maintain leads, keep doing what got you there, and you know, instead of slowing down to make sure you win, stepping on their throat to make sure they lose. But you know, Todd Monken, he's got some Georgia in him. He was Georgia's OC when we won our back-to-back national championships. And you know, I think that Monken, I think he got some of that Falcon stench on him. Let me find out John Harbaugh and Rich McKay got some career crossover. Let me find out John Harbaugh and Arthur Blank got some type of crossover. You know, it probably doesn't exist because I don't remember John ever being on our staff. I remember John cutting his teeth in Philly. So I don't really know if there's actual crossover between he and Rich. But I wouldn't be shocked. Maybe they got the same mentor. Maybe they got the same therapist. Maybe they got the same best friend. I don't really know what it is. But what I do know is that between the Falcons and the Eagles, it's something about these birds not flying in the fourth quarter. They're getting shot down. And it leaves the fans in a terrible place, especially the Baltimore fans. Let's think about the Baltimore fans. You got Lamar Jackson, you know, a two-time MVP, could have been 3. You know what I'm saying? Double could have been triple. Ain't that what Ho said? Right? That's Lamar Jackson. That's their quarterback. And then you have Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in the game. The only running back currently in the league that has a shot at the Hall of Fame based on what they've done so far. Don't get me wrong. Saquon is a Hall of Fame talent. I don't know if he ever gets there. But Derrick Henry should be a Hall of Famer now if he retires today. And if he averages, I think, 77 yards a game, he'll move up to top 10 in rushing in NFL history. Hall of Famer. He fumbles. Their offense stalls out, you know, in the fourth quarter, and Josh Allen goes crazy. And I just look at it and go, man, what's wrong with these birds? Why are they getting shot down in the fourth quarter regularly? It has to be a culture problem. But do you move on from John Harbaugh? I mean, you got one of the best rosters in the league. You got a good coach who when he has adequate players, he wins games. He's won a Super Bowl. What do you do? I don't want to overreact to it, but I think it's important, you know, as a fan to put this stuff into perspective. But I also will tell you, and I'm going to liken this to the Steelers. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. Don't be so thirsty for a championship that you walk away from above average, really good, maybe even great, to go back to terrible, awful, average. I mean, just think about it. Ravens fans, Steelers fans, y'all are bothered by where your teams are because they don't perform in the playoffs the way that you would like them to. Now, for the Steelers, it's a bit more understandable because, your quarterback situation has been terrible since pretty much since Le'Veon left. Even when Big Ben was still pretty good, he wasn't great. And you needed better and you wanted better, but you couldn't move off of him. And he was too good. And your organization is too good to be picking at the bottom of the draft. I understand that. Ravens as well. Y'all are consistently a good team. You're at the top of the AFC North, a tough division, top of the AFC year in and year out. So then you got the Falcons. And I tell this all the time to my Steelers fan friends, right? I don't have any Ravens fans in my life, but I would tell them the same thing. You don't want to be us. I understand because you have rings. You want to get more rings and you want a ring every year. And the season is a letdown if you don't get a ring. But when you have a guy in your building that you know is capable of winning a ring, has proven that he can win a ring, I don't think you move on to from this guy for just the new whiz kid, right? I knocked the Falcons for choosing Coach Ra over Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel or even Coach Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, right? You get Jim Harbaugh in your building and you don't let him leave. You saw what he did. Year one, playoffs. Year two, beat Kansas City opening week. Justin Herbert throws for 300 yards. Quentin Johnson has a pulse. Oh, my God. It's crazy what happens when you have a good coach in the building. And to even talk more about Jim Harbaugh, remember, Michigan wanted to run him out because he turned the program around immediately. Then he started to struggle. He started to struggle a little bit, but he was still 10 wins. He just couldn't beat Ohio State. He finally beats Ohio State, wins the national championship. Just be patient. Don't be so quick to run above average out the door to replace it with, I don't know. Now, it's one thing if you're down here like the Falcons, the Panthers, even the New Orleans Saints post Sean Payton. Sorry, I have an NFC South bias. But we can even look at Miami. We can look at all these different teams who don't win Super Bowls. I know the Saints have one. But these are non-Super Bowl winning teams. They make the playoffs from time to time. But on an average, on a regular season basis, they are middle of the pack to below the pack. Is not being the number one year in and year out worth dropping from 4, 5, 6, 7 of 32 to then possibly becoming 31, 27? Maybe, maybe not. It's up for you all to decide. But I think we should be slower to fire people and then, understand that only one team wins the championship every year. I can go on for days about ring culture, but I'm not. Let me get to Jalen Carter and Dak, though. So, real quick, Spitgate. I think it's important that we talk about Spitgate because it's important. Jalen Carter gets thrown. He gets tossed from the game before the first play from scrimmage. He and Dak have a back and forth, and Dak spit at Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter spit on Dak. Jalen Carter gets tossed. Dak comes out and says, I was just talking. I had to spit and blah, 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 blah. And I didn't mean, yeah. It sounds good, Dak. I don't believe it. And at first, when I saw the Jalen Carter spit without the full context, I said he should be fined and he should be suspended because we have to make an example out of him. And I'm not talking about the NFL. NFL, do whatever you do. I'm talking about Philadelphia. My light just turned off. That's not great. Just give me a second. All right, we bye. But if you're Philadelphia, I'm saying you have to suspend this guy because he comes in with some character issues. You know, take it how you want it. But he comes in with some character issues. But more importantly, we are a well-oiled machine. We are the Philadelphia Eagles. We're coming off of a Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni has one of the best, if not the best, winning percentages of coaches in NFL history. I don't know the exact percentage. That's why I say one of the best, if not the best, right? But you have that. You got good players coming in and out every single year. You got a great GM. You got a great owner. You have a great system in Philadelphia. Nick Sirianni in what, 4 years, 5 years, 5th year, he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He gets to the playoffs. You know what I mean? He is managing that ship as well as anybody can. And even if we don't want to give him the credit for being an elite head coach, he is providing elite results just like his quarterback is. You know, Jalen Hurts may not be elite results. JJ McCarthy's not good, by the way. Sorry. Anyways, but I was saying you got to suspend him. You got to fine him. You have to let him know that, hey, man, you matter to this team, and you can't allow your emotions to get in the way of us winning games. I understand you're a human. I understand you get upset. I understand that people are talking crazy to you, and you want to respond. But it's also spitting. Spitting on somebody when a play hasn't even been played. And again, this is my first thought before I saw what Dak did. I'm like, no, because spitting on somebody is one of the most disrespectful things you can do. There's not a word that you can say that's more disrespectful than even spitting at a person. Now, I'm going to get to that in a second, Dak. I'm going to get to that in a second. You know, you slap a grown man in his mouth is disrespectful. You call a man the B word is disrespectful. You call somebody some racial slur is disrespectful. But you harking that shit up and spitting at somebody, damn where it hits them. Damn if it hits them. I don't even care if you hark it. Pause.
You Kung Fu Kenny.
But just the idea of you spitting out of your mouth towards somebody intentionally is one of the highest levels of disrespect. And I think it should be handled appropriately. Now, I'll get back to what I think should happen to Jalen Carter first. Let me go to Dak. Hey, man, Dak, Cowboys offense, I ain't like that. A couple of reasons. As a former high school athlete, you know, never played at a high level. I believe in having guys to do certain jobs, right? Chris Carter got in trouble at ESPN when he said, hey, you need a fall guy. And I say, yeah, no, you need a fall guy. And on teams, you have crash outs, fall guys, enforcers. My star player should never have to beef with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I was a cornerback in high school, DB. You do something to one of the star players, I'm going to find you. Now, Jalen Carter, here's the thing that you do, though. When you're at it with that star player, he spits at you. Don't worry about it. Because, see, you spitting back is going to give them 15 yards and then get you tossed. And he doesn't have to feel that 15 yards. Now, me, if I'm Jalen Carter, I'm going to get through this O-line at some point in the game. I'm going to have a chance to hit Dak. And it may be late. It may be, oh, I could pull up, but I'm not. And that's when you get your get back. Or you get that hit, that clean, legal hit, and you take him down, you're in that pile, and then you get your get back. Because, see, what people who haven't played football don't understand is that pile It's something serious in that pile now. You know what I mean? You get away with a lot of stuff in that pile where they can't see. You can grab people, you can kick people, step on people, people, you know what I'm saying? Elbow, depending on where your mouthpiece is at, you can bite somebody. You can get your get back. And I'm not going to sit here and say play dirty, but get your get back. So in all of that, I think that both should be fined. I think at this point today, as I sit here, I don't think anybody should be suspended. I felt differently when it happened in the moment, but that's the beauty of allowing our emotions to die down. But another thing I want to talk about is the whole spitting thing, right? Some people say, well, Dak spit at him, Jalen spit on him. It's different. Sure, maybe. But think about this. If you shoot at me and then I shoot you, ain't that self-defense? And forget legally and just normal people talk. Isn't that warranted? You disrespect me by spitting at me. You said you were just spitting on the ground. Sure. I look, I used to dip. I spit sometimes. There are ways to spit, and you can control the projectile of your spit. So it's not like
New Kung Fu Kenny.
Just throw that out there. Me talking about spitting. But like, you can spit on the ground right next to you. You ain't got to spit out. You spitting out while you're talking shit to somebody. It's a hostile act. It's a hostile act because spitting on somebody is legally assault. Spitting at somebody, come on now. You see the framework I'm using with? Now understand spitting is way different than shooting. Spitting is way different than punching. But if we're going to put them in similar categories, which again, spitting is assault, punching is assault. It was an attempt. And when you try to do something that's illegal and you get caught, even if you're not successful committing the crime, your attempt to committing the crime subjects you to punishment. So if we're going to punish one, we got to punish both. And honestly, I don't think Jalen Carter should be punished anymore now because Dak spit at him. So Jalen's already been punished. He got kicked out the game. Fine him, cool. If I'm Philly, I'm in the league office like, hey man, I want my time back. Dak need to do something. He need to pay somebody some money. Because at the end of the day, we have to deter people from spitting. Hey man, that shit ain't cool. I only know of one person who's ever spit on somebody. And I won't say any of the people involved in this. But I already was iffy on that human being. And hey, dog's actually a good hang from time to time. Pause.
New Kung Fu Kenny.
But I don't respect him. I don't respect him as a man. You spit on somebody, hey dog, slap him, punch him. What kind of man are you? We can't allow behaviors that we don't agree with, behaviors that we don't support, to fly by the wayside or go by the wayside and just fly by, and we just don't care about it simply because, oh well, he didn't spit on him, he spit at him. I'm gonna ask y'all. You might be able to keep your relationship with your girl if you don't, like, you know what I'm saying, for not cheating, but you tried to cheat and it just didn't happen, or it hadn't happened yet. She's still gonna be just as mad. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna be like, oh, well, you tried, and because you shot at shorty and you missed. Okay, no problem. Nothing to talk about. No repercussions within the relationship. No, you've messed up the trust. You've disrespected your partner, and you have to deal with those consequences. Just like Dak disrespected Jalen Carter, and he should have to deal with the consequences. You know, back to week 1 reactions, Baltimore. That fan puts his hands on D-Hop, then he puts his hands on Lamar. Lamar pushed the shit out of him. Why should Lamar get punished? The fan touched him first. I heard a media personality say, "You're a two-time MVP. You have to be above that." No, I don't. I'm a human. And in nowhere else in the world do we ask human beings to allow somebody to place their hands on them, not respond, and then if you do respond, you are now wrong because somebody was aggressive towards you. That just goes against society, like the balance of how we live. You know, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So you can't be out here making that action without expecting an equal and opposite reaction. So fan, if you cross that line, it's one thing to talk shit, right? Player talk shit right back to you. I go to Falcons game, season ticket holder, 5 years. I talk shit to fans in the game. I expect fans to talk shit back to me when I talk shit to them. But one thing I don't do is I don't cross lines that can take us past just talking. Why? Because I understand for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. But we live in a world where there's not as much accountability as we should have. You know, because I think about the relationship with players in media, well, not players in media, with stars in media in general. And it bothers me a bit. So last week, Cardi B, you know, she was dealing with her legal stuff. She was in court. And she was rocking a baby bump. Now, today, she may not be pregnant. That may have just been, they made it seem like she was just doing some media stuff because she's also using this as a means to promote her album. But a reporter asked Cardi, "Hey, with the rumors of you pregnant, and it could be offsets, you know, I'm not using the exact words, but it could be offsets. Do you see an issue with co-parenting?" Yo, this girl grabs a pen, throws it at the reporter, and just goes on a diatribe about, as a man, you shouldn't ask me that question. Do you hear women asking me those types of questions? And I even had a conversation with a good friend who defended her actions, and I'm like, no, bro. I don't care how you feel about the question. You can think the question is nasty. You can think the question is filthy and it's inappropriate. We can have that conversation, but that does not prompt you to then be physical with me because I asked you a question. You could answer the way that you answer. You can curse the man out and then keep it pushing. But you don't have to throw anything at him, especially when you're fighting a case, because you can't keep your hands to yourself. And you've shown in history of not being able to keep your hands to yourself. Just because you're a star doesn't make it okay. Just because somebody asks you something that you don't like doesn't make it okay. Now, I talk about equal but opposite reaction. If I say something crazy to you, the equal and opposite reaction is you speaking crazy to me. And now, again, as a woman, she throws the pin at a man. He cannot then equally react to her. Why? Because he's a man. You can't put your hands on women. And again, I agree with that. Men, don't put your hands on women. But women, don't put your hands on men. Men, don't get violent. Because then we start to create this imbalance where there aren't accountability for action. Excuse me. There are equal and opposite reactions for the actions that people commit. And then that creates a space to where you're not held accountable. So you then believe that your actions are okay. Forget acceptable. You think it's okay. And that's where, like, we start talking about this trauma, childhood trauma people go through. It's so important to understand that when somebody witnesses something in their home, even if society tells them they're wrong, you have to understand how they could believe that it's right. Like, comment, subscribe. Village Vets Pod on all platforms. But again, there's no equal and opposite reaction. That's so important. And then you talk about this relationship with stars in the media. You can answer whatever question that you want to answer, and you can avoid any question you want to avoid. But that doesn't mean that you can't be asked those questions. Part of what makes stars so large is that the media covers them, not just because they're good at what they do. There are a lot of extremely talented people, extremely rich people who work in industries or choose to not be covered by the media, and they're not covered by the media. But those who are covered by the media stand to gain from their media coverage, especially somebody like Cardi B, who gets endorsement deals. And part of her getting endorsement deals is that people like her, people are interested in her. She's entertaining whether you like her or not. But just because you're entertaining, just because you're a star, doesn't mean you get to shit on the media. And this is not me as somebody in the media trying to defend my place in the media. Because personally, as an independent media personality, I would not have asked that question, because I would expect a nasty response. And I personally don't operate that type of platform. I'm not just into tea and junk, bro. I'm into having real conversations that matter. And learning and growing, and me asking her about her challenges with possibly co-parenting a fourth child with an offset while no longer being with him, but doing whatever it is that they're doing. That's not what I would do in that setting outside of the courthouse. Now, if Cardi want to come sit that big ass on his couch and put a dent in it, we can maybe heat up to that conversation because it's an appropriate conversation and allows her to get her stuff off. But the last thing on that Cardi B shit I want to hit, this whole, you don't see women asking me as a man, hey dog, I'm a reporter and I want to get information, and I can't get that information without digging and asking questions. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't think so. I think that you, as a reporter, you have to ask questions to get answers, because the person you're reporting on can't read your mind. You have a boss, or you are your boss running your platform, and you want to get a certain level of engagement, a certain level of so you can get your ad dollars up, and you can mobilize, you can show that you have a group of people who tune into what you're doing. They're locked in on what you're doing. So if you endorse something, you can make more money, right? Yeah. I just think it's super layered. It's super layered, and I think we try to oversimplify a lot of these things, and we try to give the people that we like the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, it's okay, it's so and so, she's popping, or who is this person, they just trying to go viral. Or maybe they had a legitimate question, because it's a legitimate question. Hey, you appear to be pregnant, and you're a public figure, and you also, as a public figure, discuss your business publicly. Hey, how is that co-parenting situation going to work with you two not being together? I think it's a valid question. Again, I wouldn't ask it, but Cardi B can't get mad at the reporter for asking it, and then she can't go on live or whatever she went on, going on a rant and talking shit about another platform. She was talking about Joe Budden, his podcast, for talking about her, and say, and here's what a lot of these stars do. They don't read all of their press clippings. They just read the press clippings that come back to them. And so when you have press clippings that aren't as favorable, and they may be consistent from a singular source, you rebel against that singular source. But because you're living your life doing what you do, and that media outlet is not a part of your daily routine, you respond to that stuff in a way that is not aligned with the platform and their view of you. But just because a star rebels against a platform and you're a fan of that star doesn't mean you should shit on the platform or cut off the platform. For one, you should listen to whatever the star is responding to. And if it's a clip, you should listen to the entire conversation so that you can get the context of it. And more importantly, you should familiarize yourself with the with media platforms and how they cover your favorite stars, to see if there's consistency there. If the Village Vets blows up and we have like a Twitter group with spaces where people are talking, Reddit and all of that stuff, and other outlets cover what we talk about or cover us as individuals and what goes on in our life, I'm not going to crash out on a platform for covering me negatively until I know the full story. And we have to know the full story. But the problem is people don't read. And in today's world, it's not literally read, it's sit there and listen. But again, it's take the time to understand the information that you want to respond to. And we live in this microwave society, so we want to respond. We want to respond to the nasty peas on the plate, but not realizing that, hey, oh, this chicken hitting, these potatoes hitting, this corn hitting, the little appetizer, the spinach artichoke dip that dog made from scratch was hitting, and ooh we got homemade pound cake and some ice cream, boy, this shit hitting. But we want to focus on the nasty peas on the plate. Hey man, hey, I didn't like the peas. But I'm not gonna shit on the person who cooked for me. I ain't gonna shit on the chef because they put one thing on my plate that I didn't like when the entire meal was great. No, we can't do that. And similarly with what Meg Thee Stallion's doing, suing Aiden Ross, what President Trump does on a regular basis by trying to discredit people who cover them unfavorably. Don't get it twisted. When you're that famous, when you're that big of a star and people care about you and just like you for what you project and not even who you truly are because they don't know you, you don't want people to cover you negatively. I get that. But you can't knock people for not for for covering things about you that they don't like while still not shitting on your character and highlighting the things that you do well. Here we are. Canelo and Bud fighting. I don't really care about that. I was just gonna talk about it with the guys because we're hopefully we get together and watch the fight. Same with Floyd versus Mike. That's more of a group talk. I'm just going down all of the different things we have here. But let's get to the Young Thug interview. I think the Young Thug interview is an important conversation to talk about. It's super prevalent in the black community, and more importantly, there are a lot of gems in that interview that I think we should kind of like pull out and talk about. Hold on, let me grab my notes. Sorry, guys, I forgot to grab my notes before the show. I should have them sitting right here. Uh, hold on. So one of my first big thoughts from Young Thug and just Young Thug, the interview, Young Thug in general, because if you know me, I always said if YSL is guilty of what they did and Young Thug is guilty of those things, lock them up, throw away the key, do whatever you need to do. Get these people off of our streets because there are law-abiding citizens who should not be subject to that nonsense. But man, his upbringing was awful. You know what I mean? Mom had 11 kids. From what it appeared, his parents weren't married. He said his dad was responsible for 15 people. And when you have that many kids, you don't have enough time to give them the love and attention that they need as a parent. So the desire and the necessity for the love and attention doesn't go away. It's just shifted from outside of the house, from inside of the house to outside of the house. It's very similar in relationships, honestly. If we're going to sit here and have an honest, real conversation, there's not, dog, if you're not getting the love and appreciation, if you're not getting your needs filled in the house, whatever those needs are, they're all different needs. I'm not just talking about physical needs because we always jump there with relationships. But if your needs aren't being filled at home, you're probably going to go elsewhere to look for them. And unfortunately for Thug, he chose the streets. I mean, the man said he didn't realize until these jail calls came out, he getting all of this pushback, finally coming home, that he was living messed up. And it's hard to tell somebody as successful as he is, both in the streets and in music and in business, that, hey, man, you're wrong. But just because you're successful doesn't mean you're living right. It just means you're good at something and you're profitable and you're climbing up that ladder. But that doesn't mean you're living your life outside of that in a positive way. You can be successful in the streets. It doesn't mean you're living a great life because the streets are illegal. What happens in the streets of a lot of that stuff is illegal. And because we are under a legal system, this becomes a right or wrong thing. No, bro, you're living wrong because you're jeopardizing the people around you, whether it's the violence that you're committing towards people or the violence that's being committed towards you. It puts everybody around you in a spot. Also, you're putting yourself in a spot to be away from your loved ones, your parents, your kids, your friends. Oh, you're also a business owner and an artist. So not only are you taking yourself away from the people you love and they can't physically have you, the people that you provide for, you can't provide for them. And the people who are expecting you to deliver for them so that they can make their money and then in turn you make your money, you're not making yourself available for them. So I take that and say, man, it's so deep, and we have to. You don't judge a book by its cover. You got to read the pages, but we don't like to read. I joke about it, but I don't read like I used to anymore. But the whole thing left me conflicted because going into it, oh man, Thug was talking all this street shit, and I don't agree with it. But then he ain't even upholding it because he talking. Forget what he did in the interrogation room. He just doing all this pillow talking in jail. Bro, why are you doing all this talking on the phone and giving up information that matters when you know something's gonna be when it's gonna be recorded? And I'm not even saying ratting from the street point of view of ratting. I didn't grow up in the streets, but I grew up. Hey, bro, you don't tattletale. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't do all of that. And you damn sure don't gossip on a phone that's being recorded. Because let me tell you something. I've been in situations where I've had phone calls that were recorded, not from behind bars. I'm talking about on the phone having a serious conversation that got heated. And then the phone calls start getting recorded. Hey, bro, I hang up. I hang up. I've been in situations where somebody tried to record me. I don't talk. I've been out with people. People try to record me, take pictures. I cover my face. And it's not because of what I'm saying or what I'm doing can't be recorded. Dog, I do a podcast and I give y'all my real thoughts. Dog, I was on here talking about buying Preparation H the other week. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a hemorrhoid, bro. Like I'm very comfortable putting my stuff out here to people. But at the same time, I'm mindful of what I say. I'm mindful of what I'm doing. I'm mindful of what I record. I'm mindful of everything that happens. For the most part, I move fairly intentionally. Ooh, new word, trigger word. But I say all of that to say that, man, when you're doing that, I don't care if you told these people this stuff. It's still nasty. And if everybody heard every private conversation I've had about them, whether we've discussed it with each other or not, that doesn't need to go out to the world. You know what I'm saying? Because once other people get your mess, they can add whatever they want to add to it, say whatever they want to say to it, and then now you've totally lost your way. You've totally lost your way because you have outside influences influencing what's going on. It's kind of like, hey, if you got to go through your partner's phone to find out that they're not, being the most faithful, well, do you really want to be with that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're looking for private things to validate your public feelings. Why don't you just take your private feelings and stand on them? And I know that's a little confusing and maybe not the best example, but there are things that we do private. Like, just imagine all the stuff you put in a group text. Should that go public? Some of the stuff you say to your friends, should that be public? Especially presented without context, without understanding the relationship. You understand what? And so when you're an outside person looking in, you then see that, and then you have a feeling on it, and then you may influence the people on the inside because of your feelings on it. Back to the relationship thing. It's one thing to find it in the phone and y'all address it there. It's a whole nother thing to show up at a restaurant and they're sitting next to each other and you're out with your friends. Oh God, I'm embarrassed. Or a picture comes out like at the Coldplay concert. I'm pretty sure that guy's wife, that Theo's wife, knew that he wasn't the most faithful husband day in and day out. But for that to be go viral, it hits different when you know that everybody around you is looking at you crazy when you see them together. So like Thug should have just been smarter and not been pillow talking on the jail phone. Nothing wrong with pillow talking. Hell, I miss pillow talking. I like the pillow talk. There's nothing like laying in the bed with your old lady after some good whoopee and just telling her all the tea and getting her feedback, and then her telling you all her tea and you giving her feedback, and y'all going back and forth. So I feel Thug's sentiment, but you can't act like a gangster and all this stuff and do that from my outside of the gang world opinion. But I'm sure y'all are Thug fans and y'all are more gangster than me. So y'all tell me I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. Kind of like Ryan Clark did with Peter Schrager. Hopefully gets him on the thin ice that they're suggesting. And I hope that ice, I don't root against Ryan Clark. I don't root against Ryan Clark. I would just rather not hear him on social media. I don't watch ESPN shows, but I still get some of the feed. And less Ryan Clark is just more good entertainment. What else? I think there's a lack of accountability. There's a lot going on here, but the way I want to wrap up this Young Thug piece is it's super layered, and you have to look at its foundations. And I think we got to do a better job in the American criminal justice system, which under this administration, this flies right in the face of that, of figuring out the why. Just don't figure out the what with the criminal. We do the investigation, we go to trial, we get the what. But more importantly, let's get the why. Because if we truly care about making our society a better place, if you truly are a MAGA, right? Make America great again, which I don't know exactly what that means, but if you're serious about making America great, then you don't believe in just locking people away for a set amount of years and then bringing them back into society without setting up anything to make them better. Huh? Oh, shit. I got a co-host showing up. Hey, take a seat. It's ready for you. Should be. Now, be careful. Be careful about this wire right here. I stepped on it. No. You on the couch. On this side. Yeah, you on the couch. Your mic is set up. Your headphones are there. Well, move all this shit out of the way. Well, yeah, you can adjust that how you want to. Let me get my drink off your table. Hey guys, V just showed up. So it's no longer just me sitting here yelling at y'all. See, I got the game right here for us. Because we're idiots to actually think that we should do a podcast on Mondays. I mean, it was great when it wasn't football season.
But then it just came around to it. So,
damn, you sound tired.
I am. I'm beat. Y'all, I'm back, man. What's going on? Tell me something. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. What I missed?
Oh, man, let me see. I talked about the Cartersville Calhoun game.
Okay.
I talked about our same old Falcons. We can go back to that a little bit.
Well, first, what did you say about the Cartersville Calhoun game?
Well, first tell Facebook that you on the show now. So they'll watch it. Don't nobody want to watch me sit here talk by myself.
No, we good. We good. They coming. Here they come. Here they come right now. Candy in the building, baby. Come on, y'all. Tap in now. Tap in.
Jarvis, Terry.
Y'all tap in.
Talib.
Everybody tap in. We here.
Hey, man, so fuck it. Let's go back to the Cartersville Calhoun game.
All right.
You didn't show up. Me and Dean was waiting.
I was out there the whole time. I literally
didn't call me back.
I sat there the whole time. I was sitting out there and I got right to the best spot. Shit. Dude,
it was set up before you got here.
I know, but my shit ain't how I want it. All right, we back. Yeah, it wasn't. Everything was how it was supposed to be. I was sitting up trying to get my vibes right out there. And then by the time I walked in, they scored again. And I was like, yeah, that's a wrap for me. Because I really didn't want to come in. That 3-hour delay fucked me up. I won't lie to you. That
Bro.
messed me all the way up. I was gonna show up at least by like the first quarter, but nah, it just wasn't what I was looking for.
Dog, I got there like 7:15.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm like, it's a big game.
So he was on time.
I'm gonna get here on time.
Mm-hmm.
So if Dean don't show up, I'm gonna find somebody to go sit with, or I'm gonna give me a good standing spot and not just kind of because I showed up late the other week. I didn't have a good standing spot.
See, Leak, but who I usually do what I don't realize, shout out Leak. I'm on from now on, anytime I get there super early, I'm going to sit down. I'm going up to the top, and I got me a good little seating spot now with the Cochrans, and they got a good
they up there deep.
Deep always. So yeah, that's why I say I got me a good little spot now. But overall, that game, it showed me that Calhoun is probably gonna repeat for sure, but it also showed me that Cartersville in itself, we got to figure out something. Like, I mean, don't get it twisted. I feel we're dominant. We was dominant as hell, but I feel we took the gas off the brake. We took the gas off and started playing around, and that bit us a little bit in the end, for sure.
Kind of like Baltimore, man. And I'll tell you though, I think it's crazy, and I don't know how I do it as a coach because I'm not a play calling coach.
Mm-hmm. Who?
Oh, you go. Like I'm not a play calling coach, right? As a guy who's coached at I've coached a little bit in my life. I don't like calling plays.
Mm-hmm.
I like to teach and coach and coach individual stuff on the sideline, but I don't know how you coach that game when you have that big lead against such a good team, and then you also have a stud at quarterback that you have to be worried about.
Keep the ball out of his hand. You run the ball, but you just. I mean, honestly, I ain't saying you got to keep running the ball, but I'm saying you go back to you do exactly what you was doing before first quarter. You screen them. We can hit them with screens. We can hit them with short passes.
So what happened? Like, how did the play calling change after 35-14? Because I left at 35-14. It sounded like Calhoun scored a quick touchdown before I even got to the truck. I dropped off because they threw a football, and I just happened to catch one.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the car if you want it, because you're a Purple Hurricane. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
I'm Hurricane of death.
But then I walked to the local where me and Dean had a water and a Sprite. Worst shit ever. But I heard it sounded like Calhoun scored a touchdown after I walked out. But I'm like, man, fourth quarter, Cartersville been moving the ball, like making big plays like it's nobody's business. The boy going to Georgia, number 1?
Brady.
Yeah, couldn't stop him. The kid, number 15, got the Ole Miss offer. Couldn't stop him.
That's Davis.
The receivers couldn't be stopped. But damn all that. If Cartersville really had an opportunity, and don't say too much because you may know real stuff, to get Trace in the building, and they didn't allow him to go and compete for that starting quarterback job this year, I understand that you have a solid quarterback, but he has no desires to be a college quarterback. He's a baseball player.
Who, Trace?
No. At Cartersville.
Oh, you talking about Nate?
Yeah. And he's good. He's good.
Yeah, Nate, he's nice.
But if Nate doesn't want to play at the next level, and Trace is what I saw, like for one, when I saw him on the field, like
do Kung Fu Kenny.
Thick thighs, big ass, big, you know what I'm saying? Like trunky, like
big kid.
Yeah, stuff that matters when you're talking about projecting size and stuff. I go, why would you not have this kid at your school?
I mean, but
for the 3-year plan,
because you also got to remember that Calhoun is a powerhouse too. Like, I mean, in itself, Calhoun, shit, they had our number for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I say, you don't lose going to Calhoun, and especially with a kid like Trace. Shit, he got the keys. He got the keys to the city as a freshman. He won it as a freshman. So it's like, I'm not letting him leave. I don't give a damn what we got to do. If I'm the head coach, if I'm the AD, whatever, like, I don't give a damn what it is. With his mom being a principal over there, I'm not letting him leave.
So it's not him going to Cartersville is not cut and dry, as I may have heard.
No, absolutely not. No. So
I was told pretty much Cartersville told him he couldn't compete for the starting job, and that's why he's not.
Hell no. And telling you the real, and I mean, I ain't gonna do too much, but that kid he's set. Like, I mean, honestly,
Well,
Cartersville, they could if even before like his freshman year, when you get told you damn near got the keys for 4 years for this whole program, I don't care who you is. Like, it's just tough to try and get up. You got to relearn the team. You've been with this group of boys for now, I think, what is it, 11 years straight. Like, I mean, of course you play some AAU travel ball, but again, when we was doing rec ball, when we was coming up, I was in Calhoun rec department.
I thought he played with 2K now.
No, he for sure played with Quentin and 2K during like travel ball and
okay,
AAU.
just travel.
Yeah,
but
travel.
he was playing rec.
He's a Calhoun baby all the way through.
So that checks out.
Yeah,
now. That makes it make sense. But now he's a stud
for sure.
It was nice to watch him. Honestly, bro, it was just good watching high level high school football being played. And I hate that I missed the game, the end of it. But let's talk about the Falcons. I gave my piece on it. I hadn't talked to you about it, but let me tell you one thing, because I know you're gonna talk about our kicker, and I talked about this a little bit earlier.
Okay.
When he came on the field, now I missed the first touchdown. Not a podcast story. When he came out to kick, you know how it usually be loud as hell when they be going cool.
Yeah, trust me.
It
was dense.
It wasn't that yesterday.
It was dense yesterday.
It was
for sure.
quiet.
It was dense for sure. I mean, personally. So before I get to cool, I'm gonna say this.
Talk about the whole game.
I'm gonna talk about the whole game. The beginning, I feel like we started out solid. I feel like we finally are taking the routes we need to get Pitts involved. Michael Penix, he played like a stud. I mean, he played a hell of a game. Bijan Robinson, he looked like the running back that we did. Man,
he had the touchdown, but we could not run the ball.
No. That I felt like we did run the ball. I felt like that's where I'm going back with my response on this is when Bijan was actually getting in space or running through the B and C gap, he was producing. When we started trying to do all the dumb shit, like trying to do when it was on 3rd and 1 at the 1 yard line, trying to do a sweep, it just like certain play calling, I was getting pissed off with Raheem because it's like the play calling was just super
terrible,
like high school.
It was terrible.
It was weak, and that's the thing. Like I said, is overall just looking at the play calling, that was weak. I felt like a lot of the defense, I was super impressed by them. I won't lie to you. We did give up a couple big plays. However, this is our front seven. I felt like I'm more excited for them than I've been in the last couple years.
Oh my God, yes. So one thing, play calling was terrible. Like that first down on the 1 or the 2, we thought that was stupid. It didn't work. The running the ball on 1st and 2nd down while the pass was working, but the run wasn't, was stupid. But I'll tell you that yeah, man, that front, and they got sacks. And Baker was able to slip out and make some runs. But honestly, that made me happy because we had a pass rush.
Right.
We're not used to having a pass rush. And granted, the coverage is the coverage. But Mike Evans didn't have a big day. And like in Tampa Bay, I got on my fantasy teams, I got Baker as my quarterback on both teams. I got Mike Evans on one team. I got Emeka Buka on 2 teams. I got Chris Godwin on the team. Like, I believe in Tampa's offense. Baker threw for 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns last year. Fuck being a Falcons fan. I'm trying to win this chicken in fantasy.
That's real.
So, hey, we trying to win. But Mike Evans didn't have a big day. Baker didn't have a big day. Our defense, we gave up 24 points. Our defense was fine.
That rookie the receiver should definitely win Rookie of the Year. And Buka, he is a dog. He showed like just seeing that kid from the beginning and end, like him warming up him. I didn't get there till like.
You was at the game?
Yeah. But I was, like I said, Sunday was a complete blur to me because, man, I was shitty from Saturday night to Sunday night. Literally, I think I was drunk for like fucking 27 hours straight.
I see. I didn't get drunk.
Yeah, no, I got shitty. And then Candace Cleaning Service, #1 in the world, had to go knock out some buildings, had to get shit together. But when I tell you that was it was rough.
You're gonna have to start paying for them Candace Cleaning Service.
Oh man, go to hell. So yeah, no, like I said, so once I got got down, got settled, got everything started rolling. It was a good time, but like I said, it's going back to my last part is how we said cool.
It shouldn't be.
I've been saying for the last 2 years, ever since Cool got them cleats stolen, we ain't seen that Cool. We ain't seen.
You didn't say that.
No, I didn't say
TL
it. TL said it, but it's just it made me realize ever since that happened, bro. We have not seen we ain't seen Cool. We ain't seen Young Way somebody. I don't know where yet, and just it's just to the point where it overall it looked bad. It looked bad as hell with him because I'm just expecting. I just knew fourth quarter he was gonna get his name back this year. We was gonna make it come like everything was gonna come together, and it slowed down. I ain't like not one piece of it, but you know, overall, I'm happy with what we look like. I feel like that we're gonna definitely make the playoffs. I think we'll win out. Being real, I don't think we'll lose to Tampa when we go back down there. And yeah, realistically.
Yeah, I'm excited about the team. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think Koo should have been back on the team this year after what he did last year. But I mean, who am I? I'm just a season ticket holder. I don't pay to watch the Falcons every week.
Understood on that. But I had seen what I had tuned in on you. I was driving over here. What's up with the Thug stuff? What do you feel about that?
I think Thug is he's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
His upbringing sucked
for sure.
I wasn't there. But when you talk about your mama having 11 kids and y'all living in a 5-bedroom apartment, then y'all finally get a house across the street from the projects, and your house is smaller than your project, but you happy that you got a house, you got a yard. And I'm just like, there's no way in hell that your parents can love you the way that you need to be loved when it's that many kids.
I can definitely agree with that.
But like you know, we talk about, like, I used to make jokes about the poorest a lot on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you poor, especially if you got somebody, what else you gonna do? You gonna fuck.
It's real.
So I understand why Thug is in the situation that he's in, and I don't fault him as much as I did a year ago, 2 years ago. But I still think at some point you have to remove yourself from those situations. But at the same time, like, it's like telling a girl who watched her mama get her ass whooped by her daddy and then allow her dude to whoop her ass and be like, hey, this ain't right. But you go, this is all I know. This is what I've seen. And
you're a product of your environment.
Exactly. And I was talking about where we focus so much on the what in the criminal justice, right? We always focus on what somebody did or if they did it. But let's get to the why they're doing it. And like, instead of just locking them up, let's find ways to help them be better and think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really hit me when he said, bro, I ain't realized I was fucking up until after all these calls came out and all this shit. Like, I ain't know I was living wrong. I go, you allegedly are responsible for people dying and you didn't realize that was wrong. But you watch your brother get killed. You know what I'm saying? You watch your brother dying after he went up and shot up a dice game because somebody talked about robbing him. You know what I'm saying? And that's your big brother. So you think that's right. I'm supposed to go to the streets and handle my business. But me and you both know we got a legal system that, whether we agree with it or not, that we have to conform to. Because if we don't, we're going to be hanging out with them.
So I can agree to disagree. Let me say this. So the reason I say that is because of this. Yes, your upbringing has a lot to do with a lot of shit that you know that you go through as an adult with what you really have going on. Thug, he was, I think, one of the oldest of 11 in his mama house, and I think the 4th or 5th oldest out of 15 with his daddy. So if you look at it, I guess my point of where I'm going with it is Thug, I feel like he made some excuses. Realistically,
he wasn't accountable.
Yeah, no, I feel like he was making some excuses behind some of them. But let me be real. I didn't like when he said that he felt he was a fucked up person because because he talked about. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Everybody gossip, especially with your chick or with your guy. Like if y'all remind you, just any of us as a human being, we all gonna have opinions about something. The only difference is, picture if you locked in a cell by yourself all day long with one other person. You ain't talk to no mama, you ain't talk to no homies, you ain't talk to no girl, you ain't got no nothing. The minute that hour you get on the phone with your people, you gonna rush everything out, especially if you were somebody on the street. So for example, like if I'm a somebody on the street and I know I done took care of everybody out here, I show love to everybody when I'm home. While I'm sitting down in this cage, y'all can't throw me a little, throw me a little love. For example, what he said about Future, I can't argue that. I feel I'm gonna look for that love too. Like, Future, you supposed to be my boy. As soon as I come home, you ready to drop a song. But while I'm in here, you don't want to do a free thug concert for me. When you know I would have did that shit 20 times just for you. I would have did a tour behind you. Same thing when he said with Wham, with Lil Baby. Like, Lil Baby and Drake showed me real love. That's the reason why you won't hear too much bad shit behind them. They showed me love while I'm in this cage. Again, niggas, that when you get put in that box and you ain't got people, you ain't got your support system that you have when you home, that shit'll make you a dog. It'll make you a demon, especially when you feel all these people don't forgot about you because they think you gone.
Well, I think that's where we're more aligned than it may seem, because I agree with Thug and him saying and feeling the abandonment, talking about how the big picture of the interview was, bro, that nigga just want to be loved.
That's it.
Like, he just want love, and that's most of us. Like, right. We just have different life paths that take us to that different place. But hold on, real quick before you respond, and I want to say this: you can't get out talking about niggas talking too much and ratting when you are even the pillow talking, right, with his girl. I don't consider that ratting, but I consider it inappropriate conversation to have when you're being recorded. Because now think about this. Obviously, jail is different, but we take stuff from our real life and put it on this show. But we speak on it in a way because we know we're being recorded. Because whether it's people we know, people we're close to, people we don't know, or people we don't fuck with, they may see it. We understand that there are public ramifications for that, and there's the lack of context that could be added to that conversation when it's recorded. Because you know how I am when I go out, bro. Don't put no camera in my face. Like, if it's not my phone, don't put that shit in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how I am. So it's just, it leaves me conflicted because I totally understand why he acts the way that he does, and I would act the same way, but I just wouldn't project the anti-rat stuff the way that he did, especially if I knew that I was speaking on stuff in a public forum, because again, a jail phone call is a public forum that should be private. That's all.
So what you saying is I can agree to a certain extent, but the difference behind that is Thug didn't say nothing like that could get nobody locked up. What he was pissed off about was the fact that the people that told on him, they could fuck around and put him in prison forever. The shit he was saying on those phones, he called Glorilla ugly. He was pissed off at he was pissed off at Future. He made a comment about Gunna shit. So I mean, a lot of shit he was saying wasn't it wasn't personal shots, it was opinion based. Like, if you feel a certain type of way, again, like I said, when you sitting in a box for 23 and 1, you got a bunch of time to think about everything that's going on.
Nigga, I sat in a box with 2 other motherfuckers for 12.
So, but that ain't that picture you doing that for 5 months for 3 years.
I know, bro. I was in that bit for 12 hours. Oh man, nigga,
it's awful.
I would have wished I could have got a Wendy's cheeseburger and tell on somebody.
Come on, man. So that's the thing, and it's like, but it also go back to what you said as well. Is like, Thug, yeah, he want love, but the thing is, he don't just want love, he want real love. When you a millionaire, nigga, you gonna get love from everybody. everybody love you when you up, when you got chicken, when you helping the whole community, you helping the whole Jonesboro South. You know what I'm saying? So like it's easier that way.
But I think that's where he needs to grow, and I'm not knocking him for it. We all go through different things. Is, you know, me and you done talked about this privately, given my current life situation.
Mm-hmm.
When you up, yeah, you want love, and you get it. But then when you ain't up, you really find out who truly loves you. And yeah, it hurts when you're going through that process. Don't get me wrong, but nigga, I love you more now because of what I've gone through in the last few months. You know what I mean? Like as my dog, like we're closer because of shit I've gone through and the way you've been a friend for me in a different situation for me. Not thinking that you were my friend because I was up, because that's not what our friendship was built on. But I was up. So like, I don't know how shit works when I'm not up. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it's just so layered, and that's why I hate the street culture, the street code. I hate it so much because, yo, this nigga just wants to be loved like a human being, and he's good at music, but he's also fucked up in the head because of the environment that he grew up in. And then he's like, hey, Warner, you don't exist without me. How you gonna do me like this? I feel him on that. At the same time, if I'm Warner, I'm like, hey, nigga, I ain't do none of that shit. I wasn't involved. You want me to say that this is a gang? Again, I don't know what their private conversations are, so I ain't saying I ain't gonna call Gunna a stand-up man. I won't do that, right? Because Thug should not feel betrayed in the way that he feels betrayed if Gunna's a stand-up man. Like, I tell y'all niggas all the time, if we doing something illegal together, we doing it together. And if we get caught, I'm gonna take responsibility for my actions. But if you're doing illegal stuff and it comes back and it can affect me and I'm not involved, I want y'all niggas to know from jump, I'm not sitting down for you. I'll sit down for us. I'm not sitting down for you.
If that's an open conversation that you have before, then they should know not to even put you in that situation. So for example, if he preached that and he was big on that, then cool. But the fact of the matter is, bro, you got to understand who Gunna's daddy is. Gunna's daddy is True. And that's who Thug said, like, I only came and got you because of him. I only made you a superstar because of him. And the fact of that being the matter, bro, you gotta.
No, I'm with
that's
you.
The reason why I say it, like, certain shit I get. If he made it seem like he wasn't on that type of time, he's not gonna be on that type of time, cool. But the fact that Sergio Kitchen made it seem like he what did he say? He was cripping like a 60, cripping like a fool, doing all this and that. You can't pick and choose certain things. That's really the only thing I feel.
And I agree with you. And that's why I say I can't call him a stand-up man, because we'll never know the true details of what people expected from him. But I will say that one thing that we all have to learn is that nobody loves you more than you.
Thanks.
And you can't expect people, even if you have their best interest at heart with how you move with them, for them to have your best interest at heart. Even, I'm talking about your family, your lady, your partners. Like, it's a sad thing, but I guess because I've been hurt by people in life, I don't expect people to reciprocate what I give them. I only expect them to be themselves. So if you do something that's outside of your character, I'm hurt. But if you fuck me over by being the person who I know you to be, I can only be mad at myself for allowing you that access to me to then fuck me over.
And I can agree with that. That's how I move. Like, I'm one of those guys. I lead with, I feel like everybody gonna fuck me over. So with that being my mindset, like, it don't hurt me when as much as when I get my feelings hurt. And I know it's fucked up. It's a shitty, like a shitty mindset to have, but I'm one of those ones that,
nigga, you've been hurt before.
Exactly. So I feel like I lead with, I feel like everybody gonna hurt me regardless of what the case may be. So I just make sure, shit, hey, if you gonna hurt me, just just don't break me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fucking break me.
I'm not gonna allow you to break me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm gonna put certain stuff in, whether it's the way I think about shit or the access I give you. And I think Thug hadn't gotten there yet. And I hopefully moving forward he's gotten there because I was bothered at how hurt he was. Like, he seemed shocked that people switched. You know what I mean? And if you look at any organized criminal syndicate, and I'm not calling YSL a gang, because Thug said, no, we wasn't a gang. We was just a bunch of gangsters doing gangster shit. And so it looked like we was a gang, but all that shit wasn't in concert. To some degree, I believe that. Other things I do believe he set up. Because again, nigga, you're not, it's PR. You got to spin a narrative. But I don't know, man, B. It's thick and it's layered, and I don't think there's a right answer about this. I just think it's an important conversation for people to have, to evaluate the people you're around, evaluate the ways that you're moving. And if you find that the way that you're moving can possibly get you locked up, if you got more to lose than that, because some people don't have more to lose. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, like Woody didn't have nothing. He ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you're a trench baby. He got to go be a trench baby. But like, when you become Thug and you get to that level, you then have to find ways to elevate out of that and remove yourself from that. And I'm not saying you don't be solid. I ain't saying don't go back to the hood. I ain't saying don't put your niggas on. All I'm saying is don't be responsible for obvious crimes, especially violent crimes. Now, if you want to push a little dope because you on tour and you know what I'm saying, you buying big chunks of drugs for your consumption, and you know you can go to another city and move it. I'm not telling you to do that. But if that's what you're gonna do, all right, bro, whatever. I don't care. Cause I don't care about niggas selling drugs because you ain't killing people. But then when it starts getting like killing people, even if it's quote unquote warranted by your street code, well, you're no longer in the streets. So you now need to move and operate in the codes in the life that you're living. And if you're not, don't be disappointed when street shit happens. Because last thing, you look at you look at the New York mob scene. The niggas who they be naming their cliques after, who they be naming themselves after, a lot of them snitched.
That's a fact. That's a fact, though. But it's like you said, it's just with that though, and we can end it after this or close out on this one. It's just more so as I feel like with Thug though, is one, I feel like Bank is the one who Bank is responsible for that whole interview.
Bro, he was so good.
Bank was good as fuck on that. Bank he asked the questions that need to be asked. He wasn't picking sides. He didn't do none of that. He literally was being open, and like I say, man, I got to give a shout out to Bank, because Bank, the way he conducted that whole interview, he let Thug talk, didn't cut him off, let him get everything he needed to say out. It was one of them interviews that if you got 3 hours, 2 hours and 59 minutes to be exact, if you got that time to sit down and really listen, you give your own opinion about it. Personally, I say this, and I can close it out right here, is if you ain't never, and I mean, I ain't even gonna say never, if you ain't been forced to sit in that cell and do at least a week, I don't want to hear nobody saying that you know too much or nothing about ratting and snitching, because again, one thing about it, personally, you can't call Thug a rat. You can't call him a snitch, because again, he didn't tell on nobody. Nothing that he said in those conversations could have got nobody locked up, couldn't have got nobody arrested, none of that. He just made his opinion, talking to his girl, and the fact that those records leaked right after Gunna just left YSL.
Hey, now Wax said he got tapes.
I mean, I get it. That's what I'm saying. It's public record. So again, you can do that. But
Wax said it's a bunch of niggas down there. Give them 500, you get what you want. That's what he said. I listened to because Joe Budden called him on his Patreon episode Friday, and they had a quick conversation. And this again, I listened to it today. It was recorded Friday. Wax said, "Oh, now we're gonna release the Mariah. We're gonna release the tape about him talking about he would get back with his baby mama. Him and Mariah Saunders about to break up. That tape dropped Saturday, Sunday, and now she on her talking shit about him, and he's in and Wack said this on Friday.
Well, I thought so. So Mariah, I thought Mariah Science was riding with him.
She was until like the last couple of days.
Oh, until that last. So I mean, that's the one with the one that just leaked today about him saying he wanted a baby by that whoever that girl was.
Yeah, but like
it's jail talk.
It's jail talk, but also Wack being able to talk about it before it came out, and then like me listening to it after it already came out, you just go, well, that goes into me and my beliefs about Wack 100. But last thing on this, I'll say, I don't really watch the Big Facts podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually not interested in their content at all. But I listen to the interview and I go, I don't think there's a question that he came up with that I probably wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
But I could not get those answers. And that's what I appreciated about it, because he's a former street guy who's respected, who's handled himself honorably. Mm-hmm. And so when Thug was saying certain stuff, he like, hey, bro, we ain't on that no more. And I don't know if Thug heard it, but he presented it in a way that Thug would not stop talking. And like, if I said, hey, bro, you can't be doing no shit like that, he gonna shut off, interview over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a street guy. I can't relate to him on that level. And I think that was so important. And I'll just point that out as a blind spot that I have, is like, bro, I ain't no street nigga. After listening to this interview, I'm gonna be a bit more careful about how I talk about street stuff. Does not change how I feel about it big picture, but it does change how I feel about the people who are involved in it, because he really opened up the door of his brain and how he makes his decisions. And you go, oh, you ain't stupid. Mm-hmm. You're just ignorant. Mm-hmm. Like you just have you have a
was raised different.
Yeah, you was raised different. You have a flawed worldview that is not acceptable to the majority of people in the world, but it works for you in your circle.
That's fact.
Hey, what else were you want to talk about, man? We got like honestly, V, you picked the top, because I've talked about it. Like I talked about the Thug interview. So I haven't talked about anything below the Thug interview, but if there's anything above it that you want to cover, like it's there. Like, I mean, Canelo and Bud, we talked about it, but the fights this week, Floyd and Mike, I think that's a better, like, we don't got to talk about it now. I think it's better when we have a lot of us in here to like talk loud about it.
Okay.
But again, whatever you want to talk about.
What is that? What do niggas owe?
So me and Dean were at the game and we're talking. Mm-hmm. And you know how like people talk about how ooh, she can sing for a white woman. Mm-hmm. Oh, them white folks can cook. Mm-hmm. Dang, that white girl got rhythm. Mm-hmm. I start thinking about the stuff that like black people think that we own, like cooking. We don't own cooking. Nobody actually owns cooking because everybody cooks. But we feel like we're the best cooks. But then when we actually start eating high-end food, we're not eating nigga food. You know what I'm saying? We talk about everyday food. Then we talk about rhythm. We got the rhythm, the soul, we cool, we fly. People want to be like us, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't actually own that and profit off of it.
Yeah.
And then we think about other cultures, like you think about Arabs, they own hotels, they own gas stations, right? That's kind of their corner. You have the Jewish community, they own banks, they're lawyers, you know what I mean? That's kind of their corner over there in the music industry. Then you have white people who have their various businesses. Then you have like the Koreans, you know what I'm saying? And Vietnamese, they own nail shops, they own the beauty stores, you know what I mean? Like all these different things. And then I'm like, hey man, black people, we just claim the rhythm, being cool and cooking better than everybody else. Like, what do we actually own though?
I feel like we definitely got to put us in rhythm and blues. I mean, I know you say R&B. I feel like music. I feel like that's our lane. I feel like,
but hold on, no, not things we're good at, because we don't own the recording companies. We don't own the distribution
so you companies. Mean own like
economically?
Own
like
it.
what?
Gotcha.
Like what is ours that you have to come to black people to get, and then we actually control it, because I don't think we own and control anything.
I used to say I would have said nigga a couple years ago, but we don't even own nigga no more.
They tell us that we shouldn't say nigga no more. Like Skip Bayless says, I don't think the N-word should be uttered. Yeah, Bayless, you're not black. I don't care how you feel about the N-word. I don't think you should say it,
That's
but
why I say-
but like, hey, white man, you can't tell me I can't say nigga.
That's why I say is being real. What?
Bro, we don't own shit. We own ideas.
That's tough.
That's
tough. That's tough. I would. Oh shit. I would want. I'll have to come back on that one because that's a really good question. But I ain't put no. I don't put no thought into that. That's tough.
And maybe we circle back when we got the whole gang in here and we could talk about what we should own and how we should try to own it.
Because now that you say it though, like, and not being racist or anything like that, but it's like when you think about like Indians, they gas stations, hotels, shit like that. When you think of, like you said, certain, but and that's all the same thing. So I mean, it's like it's certain shit that like everything run hand in hand and something. Yeah, god damn, that is tough,
bro. Just think about this show, right? We own the rights to the show.
Yeah,
but we didn't buy any of the stuff to make this show from a black company. If we make money off of this show, well, I pay StreamYard. You know what I mean? We pay StreamYard to do it. We pay Buzzsprout to host a podcast. Facebook doesn't charge us, but if we make money off Facebook, Facebook has made whatever they made before they they bust it down to it. Same with YouTube. You know what I mean? Same with Instagram. We can't even produce a black owned podcast using black owned shit to keep the money, like all the money
in house.
Yeah, like
that's a fact.
It doesn't exist.
That's a fact.
And it takes me back to the Killer Mike show that he did on Netflix when he tried to like do all these different stuff, only doing black owned stuff. And he couldn't buy a car because there's no black owned car manufacturers. He had to use, he ended up taking like a bus from a black owned bus company, you know what I mean? Like Greyhound type shit or Leisure Time.
I've never thought about that.
But it's still not a black owned bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never thought about that though, being real. I've never thought about that. That's tough. That's tough as fuck. I've never thought about that. What do we own? I mean,
Jay-Z, one of our biggest billionaires that we like, hip hop, like fuck the other like money making billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, a nigga who like came through as talent and stuff that we strive for. Rock Nation, he may quote unquote own it, but it's a partnership with Live Nation. Like he has like Live Nations would make Rock Nation what it is. Live Nation ain't black owned. Like we don't even own the shit we good at and dominate in. Like we don't own sports teams, but the leagues are the two major cash producing leagues in America are ran by black players. We don't own teams. We don't own the companies that endorse it. We don't own the media outlets that cover these teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God, I've never thought about it that way. No, that's a fact.
Like we still slaves. You know what I mean?
Definitely. That's a conversation we got to get the crew in here for, because that is a good topic for sure. That's a good ass topic for sure. And I know, let me see what else we got on there. Shout out Melo and Dwight Howard making that Hall of Fame. But I do want to ask that. I didn't like Chris Paul's fat ass. You know how I feel about Chris Paul anyway. I did not like him wearing a jacket over Steph. Being real, and I know it's extra out, and I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that. I did not like him having a jacket over Steph.
Well, it's not his personal jacket; it's his team jacket.
I get it. I don't like it. I really don't feel. I don't like it. You know how I feel about Chris Paul anyway.
Fuck Chris Paul.
But it's I don't know.
I don't like it with LeBron, and I'm a LeBron guy.
Why?
Why is LeBron and Chris Paul the first active NBA players to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
That's more LeBron.
That's definitely LeBron.
Building up the resume to be the GOAT.
That's a fact.
Because Chris Paul's not in that conversation, so we don't care about Chris Paul being there. I just didn't like that either. But I get you. Chris Paul, unless he is retired, like Chris Paul should not be a active Hall of Famer.
No.
Steph Curry's not.
No. That's my only thing. Is like Kawhi Leonard should be there before he is. So it's like it's a bunch of shit.
No, I ain't gonna say Kawhi.
Bro, I mean, I have to. 2-time MVP, 2-time, like two championships. Like that right there in itself is more than Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, game to game, has been a better basketball player than Kawhi Leonard over the span of their career. I think Kawhi at his peak is better than Chris Paul.
I hate when people fucking say that. And I don't know why. I hate when people say that. My thing is how. What has he done that's made him a better player than Kawhi Leonard?
He pretty much wins everywhere he goes.
Same with Kawhi. When Kawhi's on the floor, same with him.
And unfortunately for Kawhi, Chris is on the floor more regularly than Kawhi. But don't get me wrong. I think that Kawhi at his peak is much better than Chris Paul could ever be.
And I feel like
and then that's where you stand. Like,
and I think personally though, I feel like it's just we only can say that from like was it 1 or 2 years really worth of basketball that he sat out, which with the Clippers the last year with the Clippers, or this last 2 years with the Clippers for real. But it's like ever since he came from when he came from Toronto, he was banged up when he came from there.
But remember when he came into the league, he was just a role player. Where Chris Paul came in as a star and started whooping shit early. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Chris Paul's likely gonna have a longer career than Kawhi. So Chris Paul has more years of whooping shit than Kawhi, but Kawhi has whooped shit harder.
You come so kidding.
Than Chris Paul. It's just a weird dynamic.
That's why I say I don't know, bro. I don't know. Because again, I don't agree in no way, in no point, only because of I feel like yes, he did come in with a bigger hype, but he didn't do and he was nice in New Orleans compared to Kawhi coming in as a role player and winning the finals MVP. Is like it's certain shit where I don't mind coming in as a role player if at the end of that second year he won? Was it second? I want to say second year he was in the league, second or third year in the league. I go get a finals MVP.
He was 2010 draft, I believe. They won it in 2014, year 4.
4. Okay, cool. My bad.
Yeah.
So
year 3, yeah.
So 3, 4, whatever. I don't mind being a role player because again, remind you, I'm coming in with arguably the best power forward ever play the game. I got one of the top role players, top 6 man in the game with Manu. I got arguably one of the best point guards that's playing the game, Tony Parker. So it's like I say, bro, they have a full team. If I come in and I'm just playing my role, but then at the end of the day I win the finals MVP, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't mind being a role player coming in, but then at the end of the day, it's my team. The ball got to come through me before we do anything for real.
I'm not going to argue too much with you about it because I get it. I give Chris Paul credit for his longevity, but at the same time, I watch how Chris Paul plays, and as a basketball player, I wouldn't want to play with him as my point guard. Like, nigga, give me the ball so I can do what I want to do. Don't give me the ball and tell me what to do with it, even if you're right. Nah, like let me do me for a little bit. Then fourth quarter, you need me right here, catch shoot. I bet. Second quarter, I need to go boogie. Because as a basketball player, sometimes, bro, you just gotta get out there.
You gotta get your own feet wet
and do you so you can be comfortable playing in the role. And but like if you just sit in the corner all game and you ain't touching the ball, bro, I'm not rebounding or playing defense. Fuck that.
That ain't gonna mess the whole flow up.
But the thing about Melo versus Dwight, I saw this post that put their career accolades next to each other. Melo made top 75. Dwight Howard didn't.
That was baloney.
And I think Melo, because of his association with LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Paul, he gets elevated above what his actual output was. Don't get me wrong. Melo was nice. Scoring champion. Fine. Like if I have a son and he decides he wants to play basketball, you will watch Melo footwork. You will learn how to play out of the high post like Melo. Like you're going to learn that because that translates to whatever position you play. But just in bullshit conversation, we would put Melo over Dwight just talking basketball because the way Melo played it looked better. But do you really think Melo had a better NBA career than Dwight?
I'm not, and I was just gonna say no, I don't personally. I'm not even gonna say what you just said. I don't even agree with that.
Fuck,
Personally,
man, you were supposed to be on Melo, so we're supposed to debate this.
I love Melo, but that's what I'm saying. I love Melo. I'm again, me and Rue, we talk about it all the time. Them short steps. I was a big fan of that. I love a big guy who can making them short steps, pulling up from wherever. However, man, when we seen that dude number 12 come in Orlando, not all that other weird shit he had going on. When he came in Orlando and seen how dominant he was every game, Dwight Howard was the best big man in the league for his first. Well,
came in the league in
second or third.
He came in the league in the 04-05 season. Shaq was probably still better than him in 04-05 after the Miami. So about 07 to about 2012-ish.
When did DeMarcus Cousins come in the league?
He came in the league in 2011.
All right, so I say between 2011 and 2012. Like you said, yeah. I'm gonna go. He was right behind Shaq. But even then, after year 2 of him being in the league, I feel he even lapped Shaq. Shaq got old, again, he got lazy. Dwight Howard was one of the ones.
Dwight Howard led a team to the finals and Melo didn't. And so I'm like, hey, I get why aesthetically Melo makes all 75. But Dwight Howard was the first overall pick, not a second. Or excuse me, a third. Dwight came straight out of high school. He didn't go to college. Melo went to college. Yeah, you won your championship in college, but you went to college. Dwight didn't have to and still went one. You came out a year later and didn't go one. And Dwight got DPOYs. He got the All NBAs, the first team All NBAs. He got the blocks, the rebounds. He got to a finals. He ended up winning a championship with the Lakers. Like, Dwight was better than Melo. And Dwight, like, we talk about, should AD be on all 75? Should Dame be on all 75? Should Melo be on all 75? That's the real question. Maybe he should be on all 100.
100 for sure.
But like Melo,
75 nah.
Melo is the nigga, right? Melo is the guy who's cool with the guys who got the hoes, and then he end up with a baddie because his guys got 5 baddies over here, and there's 5 of them, and she came over here to go, but she didn't come over here for Melo. She came over here for a crew. Whereas Shorty who came over here for Braun, is hypothetical, came over here for Braun. Shorty came over for CP, came over for CP. Shorty came over here for D-Wade, because I think D-Wade, because he's the oldest one in the group.
Wade got a bunch of little guys, little bitty Asians. Come on. Him and Dwight Howard might be the same.
I'm not going to put that on D-Wade. I'm not going to put that on D-Wade because I listened to how D-Wade talked about how he had to revamp his parenting style. And he pretty much was like, when Zaya started going through her transition and stuff.
His transition. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that shit now. Yes, that boy has a ding-a-ling. He ain't no girl yet. And that's what pisses me off. If y'all want to do that and want to start calling him Zaya, cut it off. Show me how bad you is, Dwight. Show Gabrielle, you show me how bad y'all is.
Hey, so we'll come back to that because I got something for you on that, right? Okay. But
it's crazy.
New Kung Fu Kenny.
But what D Wade said was, he was like, when this nigga came to me with this, I'm like, fuck, nigga. Like, he had to go learn and then say, hey, despite how I feel about this, I'm going to be here to support my child because I love my child and I want to be the best parent for that child. Respect. Now, however you choose to deal with stuff like that, I'm not gonna tell anybody how to deal with that, because if my daughter comes to me and tell me, Daddy, I'm a boy, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that my podcast answer is my answer to my child the day that I find out. Like, but I want to work to a place to where you are happy with who you are and you still feel the love from your father, even if I disagree with your lifestyle. Hey, you put me a little dab in there. I left I was doing a solo show. I thought I was doing a solo show because Rudy answered the phone. So I'm like, oh God, Lee, I don't want to bring look in her. But nah, but back to what was the other shit I told you to put a pin in?
About him cutting it off.
You know, I was listening to somebody talk about that shit, right? And they said, so you want me to accept somebody as trans? Well, I want you to accept. You remember Rachel Dolezal, the white chick who said she was like black, did the NAACP shit. You know what I mean? Like she was wearing like nigga hair and like
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
and they was like, okay, so she's black. They were like, no, she's not black. And they're like, well, then that trans person isn't their transgender. They are what they were born as. If you're gonna say that she's not black, because I look at her, she's not black. She's just trying to be black.
She was the one that was wearing them little wigs and all that dumb shit. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I know exactly.
And so then the spin-off, the spin back was like, well, how can you respect the transphobic, not transphobic, the transsexual person, but you can't respect the transracial person? So now we're picking and choosing what trans we want to respect.
It's real. Oof, that's real. That's definitely real. Because again, I feel like, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I feel like so many people want so many like, and maybe it's just me. It's so many people that want a bunch of black guys, black men to be trans, and maybe I don't want to come off as shitty when I say that, but it's like if we can't have that same standard for everything and everybody, I don't feel it's fair. And if he, like I said, if he want to be considered trans, or if she want to be considered a she, you don't need to have that body part no more. You got enough money. Your mama got, your stepmama, your daddy, y'all got enough bread. So if y'all want to do the full thing, stop playing. If you want to go paint your nails and you want to do all that to make him feel better, Dwayne, cut yours off too. Like, I mean, again, I'm just being real. Everybody want to play like it's okay until it's really put in your face, and you really got to do what you asking and saying you want everybody to be okay with. You want us to call this man, what is it, Zaya, instead of his real name?
Hey, if you want to, damn, bro, I was trying to think of a girl name for you, but your sister's got them.
Vanessa.
If you want to cut your dick off and be Vanessa, I'm gonna call you Vanessa, and you still gonna be my friend. But you know what I won't do? I won't cut my dick off and go by Christina.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? And that's where I land with it. Hey, dog, you do what you want to do, grown ass person. And again, grown person. I ain't talking about no kids. Grown ass person. And I don't even know what grown means, because we just talked about thug head being fucked up because of his upbringing, and now in his 30s realizing that his head's fucked up, right? But you grown ass, if you want to do something, you do it. But I can sit here and say, hey, I won't do that. I don't hate you for it.
But again, if you want to go into that classification as a trans, and you want us to treat you like a trans instead of a man, then stand on what you're saying. That's all we saying. Like, don't try and get mad at us because we're still calling him a him instead of her. Because that's just, because we don't give a damn about no pronoun. What you are is what you are. Well,
the shit between your legs in our society, right? And man, let me stop being PC. Hey, we pick and choose. We call you him or her based on what you got between your legs.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody's against. I don't think we're against people changing themselves. Now, if you go from man to woman, because I'm single now. He's not single. I'm single. I'm out here in these streets. Baby, if you was born with a pecker, just let me know before. Now, my choice is going to be move in a different direction, but let me move in that different direction. Don't let me end up in some AI pussy. Nah, let me not. That's a joke. But don't let me end up in some. I don't want to have sex with a trans and find out after the fact. And I think that I don't think that's transphobic. And I think that if you are trans, you owe that to people who do not move that way. Because if I'm into women, which I am, and you are just a woman and I only want women who were born as women, you should allow me the opportunity to fucking disclose, to make that decision. Just like if you have an STD, and golly, I'm not putting trans with STDs, two totally different things. But again, you are legally obligated to tell somebody, hey, I have an STD. If not, you will be punished. And then we talk about consent. Just like if I pulled a rub off during sex without your consent, that can be sexual assault, right? I think the same thing should go for trans people. You should have to express that you are trans before somebody engages in sexual activities, because everybody does not want to play that game, and they should not have to play that game unknowingly. If we're just being fair. And again, if you want to be trans and if you want to fuck trans, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just old school.
That's it, and that's how I look at it. Like, you can do whatever you choose to do. Don't feel like people should be obligated to do the certain shit that you're asking, because again, I say the same thing I just said. I feel like if you want to be that, or if you want to have those titles, that we classify you as what you got between your legs. As a heterosexual male, I feel like I'm gonna look at you, and if I see you got a full facial hair and you wearing, walking around in a skirt and whatever, but I know you got some ding-a-ling down there, you're gonna be a man to me. I don't give a damn what your outfit look like. If you got some ding-a-ling down there, you a man, and that's what it is. And and that's just how I look at it.
And as we close this out, I'll tell you the thing I hate most about that. Somebody will take our stance on this and say, you're transphobic. No, I don't have a problem with you being trans. I don't. But like, I call men because they have dicks. After the game Friday, right? We walk into the local. Todd knows people in there. I don't be knowing people unless we went to school together. Dude go, I'm talking to Todd because Todd beat me though. He goes, you look like you came here to buy some beers. I looked at him. I said, you got a dick? He was like, yeah. I was like, fuck, I'm buying you a bill for. I don't buy bills for dicks. He said, I'm gonna play the Kung Fu King after this. He was like, oh no, that's good. I'm talking about from my mouth.
Kung Fu King.
And I said, but you have a dick, right? I don't buy drinks for dicks. And I mean, and do I buy drinks for my guys? Absolutely. I didn't know this man from a can of paint. He knew Todd, and you just go, I walk in the bar, you asking me to buy you a beer. Dog, you could have been the baddest chick in the bar, and you gonna get a nasty response from me asking me to buy you a drink, and you ain't talk to me. We ain't hey dude.
First word.
Hey dude, if you was even into me and you wanted me to buy you a drink because you wanted me to take you home, hey, warm me up, big dog. Don't just come in that strong, bro. Because I promise you come in that strong. I'm like, if you a woman who I like, I'm gonna give you some pushback and still buy you a drink. But you a man I don't know, and I don't want to take you home because the last thing I want to see is a man grabbing his ankles in my house. I'm just not into that. If you into men grabbing the ankles in your house, shout out to you. Hey, have at it. But nigga, don't ask me for no drink. Yeah. Like, bro, I wish you could have been there because your face. Because you just would have walked. Imagine walking into the local, singing ding, talking to somebody, walk in, dap him up. The first thing he say to you, oh man, look, you came here to buy me a drink. And I didn't call him a motherfucker.
No, I mean that would have had me. I don't know. Dean got too many goddamn friends anyway.
Oh man,
that's what I told his ass.
Bro, I don't even like going to the games with Dean because the shit you was talking about. All the kids coming up to him and stuff, and the people, and I just be there chilling. And you know me,
I'm trying to watch the game. I ain't dapping up. I ain't trying to do all that. I'm trying to watch the game. Dean and talk to everybody, dapping up. Give mother got to come walk up on you,
bro. Think about now. We in the delay, so people are leaving the game, or some folks going back to their cars, to the tailgate, going to the field house because they good over there. They can do shit like what I mean. So people just walking by. I mean, Dean was having a conversation with one person who was on the track, and we was sitting right there on the track, but we were sitting down, so we had our backs turned. Nigga, I didn't turn around.
You didn't?
They weren't talking to me. I wasn't talking to them.
Yeah.
But again, that's me.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, goddamn Dean, he gonna he gonna turn around, he gonna make full conversations, he gonna talk for 15, 20 minutes, then he gonna be ready to move around right after he get done talking. So
But I tell you, like, for a crew and really for the show, when you talk about building a show, it's important to have people like Dean.
Yeah.
Because if me, you, and Rue tried to build a show, we would only be able to grow it on the internet because we suck in public.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not.
You don't go in public.
No, I don't do all that. Like, I go in public, but I don't do all that other ass shit. Like, I don't really like partying in Cartersville. 1, 2. I get in too much trouble in good move. I get in too much trouble in the Ville, and it's like certain times I feel like I prefer to just move and shake how I move and shake. And I don't like speaking to everybody, especially 90% of the time I'm tuned in when I'm at the game anyway. So it's like, I don't want to be in everybody's face. I come in and do one thing, watch the game. I want to come watch the game. I don't want to do all that talking, dapping, and all this and that. I'm going to speak to everybody who, we got love for, but it ain't going to be no all day speaking. I'm going to say, what's up? Hey, y'all enjoy the game. I'm finna go grab me a little spot and go post up, and I'm here until 10:15 when the game ends.
You want some bullshit?
What?
I really only go out in Cartersville publicly most of the time to interact with people who watch the show.
I don't even do that.
Well, hold on. Let me not say interact. I go out so that we can be seen in public places where we're expected to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to talk to nobody. Dean, I let Dean talk to him, and if you acknowledge me, I will speak.
Yeah.
Except for one person, and I'll tell you that off mic, because somebody act like they didn't know who I was, and I had to address it.
No, you might as well go.
No, I'm not gonna say it on mic.
Yeah, you might.
No, I'm not gonna say that on mic. It was, it's actually a couple. It was actually a couple of instances that I had.
Somebody stung before?
No, not even. I reintroduced myself to be funny.
That'd be the problem with me though. If it's somebody I done stung before and they act like they don't know me, oh yeah, bitch, I'm gonna act crazy. I don't like all that.
Well, I'm different. If I don't stung you, don't talk to me in public if we ain't here together.
Oh no, yeah. I like when you talk to me and still make me feel nice.
No, don't talk to me.
No, make me feel special.
Don't talk to me. That's the problem though. Aisha Curry don't be making Steph feel special when she go on these podcasts and get to talking.
Aisha Curry stupid.
And I don't even care to talk about what she said. I only care about, hey, dog, if you my woman, don't go out in public and embarrass me. It's one thing if you do something that's embarrassing, but don't sit your ass down and get to speaking your talking your point and making me look less than, because we got to go home and deal with that. And I'm telling you, as a nigga who's like said shit on podcasts, and then like my girl or my wife, the same person, just different phase in the relationship, right? Then sees something and checks me about it. I'm like, hey, bro, don't check about my content, nigga. This is a show. But that doesn't change how she feels and how I made her feel being on the show. And then when she tells me that, I have to respect it because I want to be with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want my girl ever checking me on my content.
Yeah.
But if my content does make you feel some type of way and you choose to consume it, which I can't tell you not to, I can tell you shouldn't if you're going to feel some type of way about it. But if you're going to choose to consume my content, whether as support or whether to like try to catch me up, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't have to deal with that. So like I when me and Cindy were together, I carried myself very differently on a podcast, Mike, because I respect her. Mm-hmm. And there's certain conversations that we don't have here because you're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Dean's in a relationship. You know what I mean? Trev's in a relationship. Like, we don't talk about certain shit up here because out of respect for our partners or y'all's partners. You know what I mean? But no, bitch. Excuse me. I was saying bitch just like as a word, not like towards her. But nah, you don't go on here and talk about how I pretty much say I didn't think he was my type and I thought we was just friends, and I thought I was gonna be the one. The one of you with Steph Curry. Let me tell you something. That boy is light skinned with green eyes and 6'3". He was a winner before he was good at basketball. I promise you. I'd have been to the club and the bar with Rue. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have been to clubs and bars that I go to, and then I come in with 6'5". And don't get me wrong, I ain't got no ugly friends, but I ain't got no pretty friends either. Niggas just nice looking motherfuckers. You know what I mean? 6'5" walk in there, I see how they look at 6'5". Now imagine 1 inch shorter,
New Kung Fu Kitty.
light skin with green eyes. Oh, this bitch can shoot from 38.
Yeah, from anywhere.
Girl, his daddy was in the NBA. Girl, you was never gonna be the one. You was always gonna be the 2. Or maybe the 3 or the 4 or the 5, depending on how many kids we have and how far they is in life. Like, bro, like what we doing? Like, she's not a main character in any story but her own. Now, we're all the main character in our stories, but Steph Curry is the main character in a lot of people's stories. LeBron James is the main character in a lot of niggas' stories. Michael Jordan is the main character in a lot of niggas' stories. Bro, don't nobody care about Ayesha Curry but Ayesha and her fucking family.
That's a fact, bro.
And there's no knock on that because don't nobody care about us but our family.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But at the same time, bro, I wish you would get out here and saying, like, damn, bro, like, I ain't think Terrence gonna have this grind, this hustle like this. You know what I'm saying? Do these tattoo fire ass shit, man. I thought I was gonna be the tattoo nigga. DJ, when have you touched a tattoo gun? You know what I'm saying? I be like Ayesha Curry, what the fuck did you do that you thought was gonna make you popping enough to be more popping than a pretty eyed shooting ass nigga who took over America's heart in 08 in goddamn college at Davidson.
And been having it ever since then.
Come on, bro. Niggas say he the best point guard of all time. Ayesha Curry, you ain't the best nothing but Ayesha Curry at all time. And that's no knock on you. Because most of us aren't the best at something else besides being ourselves. Right. But then for you to come out, wow, Steph is the one to say, well, I thought it was gonna be me.
That's a fact.
He just wanted to be a high school basketball coach.
Wait, that's all he want? That's all Steph wanted?
That's what she said he wanted to be, and I assume that's what his goal. Like when you go to Davidson to play college basketball, you don't think you're going to the NBA. Yeah. I mean,
but then again, when you Steph though, that's different. Steph was pulling up 30s as a freshman, back to back 30. So I don't know. I feel like he just went to Davidson just because that was the only person who recruited him at that particular time.
That's what it was. And he could have transferred after his freshman year, but he stayed solid at Davidson because again, he has a daddy who knows, hey bro, as long as you keep killing, I'm
gonna get you in there. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you in there. Don't worry about it. I know a couple folks. Yeah.
Damn, bro. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm about to say shit. I gotta let him know. I'm about to say that's my bad about today. I'm about to say had some little family issues and practice and shit going on. But next week we'll be back better than ever. We'll have it lined up. I'll be back on time too.
Hey, what we doing? What we doing next week? Are we gonna be able to get little Terry up here?
I'm gonna get everything. I'm gonna have to get everything lined up.
Okay.
I'm gonna get everything lined up and try and figure some stuff out.
Because if we can, if he's open to that, and I actually want to talk about it publicly, because I talked about the last show at the open, I think that would be good. But also, I think that just the fact that we got one side of it saying, "Hey, I don't want problems, I want peace."
Mm-hmm.
If we can settle this beef, as long as this beef been going on, we're doing the right thing no matter who watches the shit because it goes bigger than us just having a podcast. It's really like, because, man, let me just pop our shit a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, niggas fuck with us doing this shit. And this ain't really shit. It's just us coming up here talking about shit. You know what I mean? Like, and we put topics up here to guide it. So we ain't just sitting here with nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we don't really, I mean, the way we spun off talking about trans shit off of Dwight Howard and Melo going to the Hall of Fame, like we just up here to have conversations, but more importantly, we're about giving back to our community in the way that we want to, and not the Dean way. That's not a shot at Dean, but we just ain't gonna be out there touching the people like that. Like, I'm sorry.
New Kung Fu Kitty.
Yeah, I got things I'd rather do with my time. But to be able to just, if we can like create place where people can come up here and talk and get their shit off, and then after that we get to resolutions, bro. Like, we doing God's work, and I ain't even making it religious, bro. It's just real shit.
That's real though. That's real. But I'm gonna definitely try and get them up here next week and see what I can line up. But before I want to do that, then we're gonna see something.
Yeah, we can talk off mic. I just want, but I will also say that I appreciate you for showing up because oh God, I was ready to cuss everybody out today.
gonna talk out the camera. But yeah,
we gonna talk.
For sure.
And I will tell you when we talk. I'll talk first.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna give you the floor.
Okay, for sure. Then.
Hey, y'all, it's over because I actually want to say what the fuck I want to say. And
Village Vets, we out, baby.
we
See
out
y'all
here.
next week. Let's get it. Come on, let's go step out.
Hold on, let me find
I want to get this black kid.
Yeah, but I'm not. We still on air.
Oh, we still live.
Yeah, because like I'm back here trying to navigate the computer from back here, and you know
Shit.
I left my
bad.
glasses at Trouble House, so I can't see.
Damn, we still going like a easy.